Hello? Oh, what's that? Oh yeah? Oh, you're looking for Canada's deepest and driest tree skiing? Okay. Check out Whitewater Ski Resort in Nelson, BC. Okay? Yeah, no worries. Awesome. Enjoy. Yeah, keep on shredding. All right. Bye. Whitewater Ski Resort is like heaven on earth for tree skiers, and it's still got that old school ski vibe, great community, awesome terrain, delicious food, and is constantly getting nuked with snow. The vertical drop at Whitewater is about 623 meters, like 2,000 feet, and provides access to 1,307 acres of pristine tree skiing paradise. There are 3 chairs at Whitewater and 1 new one on its way. The Raven chair for the 23-24 ski season. The Silver King chair is the smallest one at Whitewater. It's got like a pole down the middle, 2 chairs, and believe it or not, it actually was taken from Whistler Mountain. It used to be the olive chair at Whistler Mountain. Anyone who's old enough following this might know that. I didn't even know what the olive chair was. The 2 main chairs you ski there are the Summit chair and the Glory Ridge chair. The Glory Ridge chair goes up the back side of the mountain, and the Summit chair kind of goes up and climbs up behind Weimer Peak. So Summit chair and Glory Ridge chair, both fantastic spots to play up there. Whitewater is located 22 kilometers or 25-minute drive from the city of Nelson. There's only one on-resort accommodation, the Hummingbird Lodge, and if you can't snag a booking, you're going to have to stay in the city of Nelson. But Nelson is actually a super sick city and super fun spot to visit. Good food, good vibes, cool people. The closest airport is the Castlegar Airport, which is like 45 minutes from Nelson. But beware, well, the locals call it Cancelgar because flights often get canceled out of the Castlegar Airport, but that's one option if you're flying in. Whitewater is a great slot for beginners and families. The Silver King chair is a perfect spot to kind of just improve your skiing, and there's some sweet kind of tree runs with blue like pitch and some like open stuff that you can practice and get really dialed turning through trees and linking turns. Intermediate and carving runs. So there's some great carving turns to be had on Motherlode and Bonanza, 2 runs off the Summit chair. And I only dabbled on a few groom runs on the Glory Ridge side. But honestly, I was completely and utterly encapsulated by the tree skiing at Whitewater. So like I said, I spent 0 time carving. So groomers, definitely super solid, but where Whitewater shines, as do most of these interior mountains, is the advanced and expert terrain. So 80% of all of Whitewater's terrain is advanced, and a lot of it is in the trees. So the double blacks at Whitewater feel a little more like single blacks, but they are some of the most flowy tree runs that I've ever skied. You could just ski them at speed for days and have an absolute blast, and it's just boiling with natural features and pillows and jumps and just creative little gullies that you can ski through. And especially on the Glory Ridge side, you can just kind of cover the whole section and just choose a section, ski down, traverse a bit, traverse back. You're always going to end up at the road. So like, you can play around quite a bit. It's super fun. Whitewater is world-class tree skiing and powder, but doesn't necessarily have like knee shaking and ball crushing, steep and scary skiing in bounds. There's some sweet spots like up higher on Weimer Peak if you go backcountry, or the trash chutes they're called. Any of these kind of places that are like a little bit out of bounds off the resort, bring your Avi gear, are steeper and definitely gnarlier. So the terrain can be found, but access by lift to like super gnarly terrain, it's not really there, but trust me, like it doesn't matter. You're gonna have so much fun in the trees here, like you're not even gonna care. The tree skiing is so ridiculously good. Obviously, I can't stop talking about it. Heaven on earth for tree skiers in the trees. Most flowy tree runs, tree skiing paradise. Quite literally perfect. Skiing through trees in 10 trees, stop dripping in sweat, flow through the trees. There's face shots in those trees. My favorite spots in the trees when you're going down through those trees, world-class tree skiing. Obviously, I can't stop talking about it. The spacing is quite literally perfect. Like when I'm skiing through trees in Whistler, I often have to stop, reset, turn 10 trees, stop, reset. There's no stopping and resetting. Like you're gonna be dripping in sweat each run because you're gonna have the perfect flow through the trees. There's so much spacing that you can just spot a line and just go, and after you turn around one tree, there's gonna be more space, more space, more space. Like we had about a 4 or 5 centimeter dusting in the trees when I was there. It was super fun, but I could not imagine a 25, 30 centimeter blast there face shots in those trees. It would be insane. I'd probably pack all my stuff and move to Nelson if I had a day like that there. My personal favorite spot in the trees there were on the Glory Ridge side, in like the knee-deep glades and the trash glades. I thought were really sick. Found some powder in there, and there hadn't even been snow. You don't really have to worry too much about getting cliffed out. It's all pretty, a go when you're going down through those trees. Everything is pretty manageable, and I didn't get cliffed out a single time at this mountain. So like, exploration is definitely simplified and is definitely lots of fun. You're not going to find any terrain parks at Whitewater, but the bottomless white stuff and the natural features are going to keep you pretty damn preoccupied. And there's lots of room to build a booter if you want to practice getting some airtime. What's a lift line? Honestly, there's no lift lines there. Only caveat are days when like maybe the wind's strong, but it's quiet. You're in Nelson. It's quiet. It's amazing. It's old school. Lift lines don't exist. Whitewater gets absolutely nuked. And when I say nuked, I'm talking 1,200 centimeters, 40 feet of snow a year. And this snow is dry and light. There's not a single snow machine up there. And everything you're skiing on is that natural British Columbian white stuff. Whitewater Backcountry, it's legendary. Weimer Peak, White Queen, 5 Mile Basin, all super fun, close spots. Or wherever you look around, across on the other side, and you look across from the resort, there's pow lines to be had everywhere, and literally the powder is bottomless. Whitewater is like the perfect family resort. Everyone's super friendly there. The staff's friendly. The community's friendly. And it seemed like everyone really just knew each other in line, knew each other's kids. Like just that kind of vibe you'd want to like raise like a family of skiers in. It reminded me of like the Manning Park kind of feel when I was a kid up there. Everyone just knew each other. You knew all the lifties. You're all hanging out, and your friends can watch your kids as they ski down. And just really safe, fun, kind of family mountain to shred, and like no one's gonna get bored, and everyone's gonna be able to progress at different speeds and times and enjoy themselves. The Weimer Peak backdrop at Whitewater is pretty darn beautiful, but it's not beating views like Kicking Horse or Whistler, or you're not getting that high on the resort where the views are gonna blow your mind. But it's gorgeous. It's a mountain. It's covered in white. It's gorgeous. Food. Now, as you know, I don't often eat at ski resorts, but I ate at Whitewater, and there's a reason for that. Whitewater has the best on-mountain food probably on Earth. There's pretty much no competition. The Fresh Tracks Cafe is literally an internationally sought-after dining destination thanks to the chef Shelly Adams. I think she was actually an owner of the mountains, and she made like super healthy, creative, and delicious meals, then made those into cookbooks, and those cookbooks have like a cult following internationally. I can put a link to one on Amazon in the description if you want to check it out. But when you're up there, you gotta have the food. It's worth it. It's reasonably priced, and it's freaking bomb. Single day tickets, pretty reasonable compared to other mountains at $132 a pop at the window. So at Whitewater, you're not getting that, big Whistler mountain experience, the flashy chairlifts, the big party scene, the monster peaks, but it's the character that makes Whitewater so beautiful, and the tree skiing is what makes it so special. Like, it really reminded me of my home mountain, Manning Park. You get there and you instantly feel like you're at home and like you belong. And everyone's there just to have fun. Like, there's none of this like pretentious skiing going on. It's all just people ripping trees, smiles, having beers, eating food. Like, doesn't really matter. It's the kind of place that really brings out the creativity in your skiing, and brings out the fun among family, friends, and kind of that ski community. So I love that feeling there. So you don't get that at a lot of these kind of bigger, big name resorts. It's more about both the hustle and the money and kind of the showing off. Like, this is just true old school. Everyone's there for a good time to ski for the day and get out and come back, the next weekend. I still can't wrap my head around how sick Whitewater would be on a powder day, and just how ridiculous the tree lines on like the Glory Ridge would be, and how much space you'd have to play. Like, you'd be skiing fresh powder laps, face shots all day long. So let me know in the comments if you've skied at Whitewater. Let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know what your favorite zones were, your favorite runs were. I'm gonna go back definitely and try and get up Weimer Peak, because Rob and I epically failed at that last year, but I also want to line up a powder day. I'll put a video here that you can check out of me actually skiing Whitewater and just kind of having fun on the resort, and you can check it out down below. As usual, let me know in the comments if you got any questions, and otherwise, stay spicy, keep on shredding, and I'll see you in the next one.
I-35 with the top down, quick to tell a hater they should get like